well on this lovely Monday. I hope that your day was as good as mine was. Mine actually was pretty good. Considering that we were down staff at my job, I really wasn't sure how that was gonna go. We had help from another class, but like for those of you who know, I'm an assistant teacher. But yeah, we were down staff, and yeah, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but we had help from another class who isn't like PMT trained, meaning like they work physically with the kids. Like 'cause sometimes we have to do holds and stuff for protection, but the kids actually were great, so we didn't need to do any of those type of things, and everything was actually pretty good. So like I said, I hope that you guys had a nice Monday too, because Mondays could be a little bit of a challenge for a lot of us. So with that said, um, welcome to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing good. Um, Also, if you're new to the channel, big time welcome to you, and I hope that you stick around and actually get something out of this reading, because I think it's gonna be a nice one. And for those of you who've been rocking with me for a little while, welcome back, and thank you for the continued support. I appreciate you guys as always. You guys are amazing. So without further ado, um, oh, also side note, hit that subscribe button. We've been building this little community slowly but surely, but we're building something, and I'm enjoying watching it grow. There's been a lot of people coming back after they watched the video or so, and they're like, okay, I like this channel, and they come back and they've been enjoying themselves. So like I said, we're building a nice little soul tribe here of some like-minded individuals who are really really awesome. All right. um, so if you do hit that subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of when I go live or when I post. All those good things. I'm also open and available for private readings, so you just have to check me out in terms of my information in the description box. So again, without further ado, I've cleansed the space and all of that good stuff. So we're just gonna kind of jump right in without too much talking. Excuse me. Here we go with the burps every time. I swear, every freaking time. All right. So we have on the bottom of the deck, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. But right underneath that, and it stood out to me. So that's why I'm gonna look at it. Prosperity lies ahead. So new what the heck? New moon in Taurus? What? That's literally what is happening tomorrow. The new moon in Taurus. Wow, that's crazy. That doesn't happen too often. Like, all of them have like the phases and different phases and stuff or whatever. But, when it actually shows up like that, like that's pretty cool. Like literally. And that's why I got drawn to the card. I just saw the prosperity part. So what I was about to say is I'm going to take these cards and put them to the side, because I don't usually take from the bottom, but I read from the bottom. Those stand out to me, that for some of you, it might be a financial reading for some. I'm gonna take this Fitbit off. Anybody who's been watching my channel knows that if I did not make my steps for the day, then I'd take it off so that my Fitbit does not think that I did extra things I did not do. So I know that's very very strange, but like I don't want it to think that I did extra steps, especially like if I was like tracking on Weight Watchers or something for my activity. I'm like, I did not do that, and I don't want to get my algorithm all messed up. But anyway, so for some of you, you might have been experiencing a financial setback of some sort, and this might be a cycle that lasted for a little while. Like this might have not been something that was easy to get past, but you're working on it. It looks like. All right, we have a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. It's giving me kind of like uh, Ace of Wands energy a little bit. Take it as it resonates, of course. Take everything I say as it resonates, being that this is a collective reading. So, this is going to resonate with people who are watching currently or people who end up watching later. It's going to resonate with many different people. So, and then for some, it might not resonate at all. So just make sure that you understand that this is a collective reading. But it is giving me like there might be like new beginnings coming in, things that you're very passionate about. So this could be, based on that first card that we got or the first couple of cards with the prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. I'm like, what? So again, I'm getting like financial setbacks that are coming to an end, but I'm also getting that for some of you, you might be starting new projects that you're very passionate about, starting new jobs, things like that, or just really passionate about something that you're about to start kind of looking into. And for a lot of you, it will have to do with money. So, again, take that as it resonates. Tell us more. Tell us more. Um, Also, for those of you who don't know what the new moon is usually about, the new moon is typically about, just generally speaking, what you're welcoming in. So, like a full moon is usually about what you're releasing. A new moon is about, think of it like that, like it's a new phase, right? It's like, okay, so something new coming in, new energy that you're welcoming in, so on and so forth. So, you've released the old to welcome in the new already. So this is the stuff that's kind of coming through at this time. All right, we have emotions are running high, supermoon. So you might be feeling a little bit emotional. I mean, we had a lot going on recently, right? In the past few weeks, we had the retrograde, we had eclipses, like, oh, we had, like, within the past month, really. Like, we had so much stuff going on. So a lot of people are still kind of, in a way, recovering. I know it's a crazy word to use for moon cycles and stuff, but a lot of people are still kind of recovering from how tough that was, like, the emotions that, stemmed from it, that were released and are still being felt at this time, and so on and so forth. So, you might be just feeling, you know, very like on edge, possibly, or, yeah, I'm getting on edge. Like all of a sudden, I got like kind of anxious. Like my heart's like going. If I would have kept my Fitbit on, I could have saw what my heart rate is. Um, but I started to kind of get like flutters a little bit. So, you might be feeling like a little bit off in terms of your emotions, like just kind of like not knowing where things are going, feeling confused. I'm getting like a lot of different things. And that could cause a lot of emotions, a lot of anxiety. Confirmation as my phone's going off. So, there could be just like these different elements happening for you at this time that contribute to that. We also have balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So for some of you, you might just be in this element of, especially as you're, I mean, you're watching tarot, so clearly you're probably pretty spiritual, right? But learning how to, understand that, you can't rely solely on your spirituality, just like you can't rely solely on like religion or something like that to solve all your problems, right? You have to be practical. You have to be able to be assertive enough to, make your own like decisions and, create a pathway for yourself. You can't just expect everything to kind of fall in your lap. So, being able to know how to surrender control, I feel. I mean, this has been a trend a lot in the readings. Um, this energy of finding that balance of being able to, it's like that yin and yang, right? Being able to know when do you, surrender control versus when do you, take control of the situations in which you find yourself in. So being able to say, okay, what do I have control over in these circumstances, and what don't I have control over? Being able to be practical and, and plan accordingly based on that. Like if you were to say, I got hot really quickly out of nowhere. I was freezing. I was literally shivering before I started this reading. I was like, my gosh, what's going on? And I had on like layers of clothes earlier, and like now I'm hot as hell. What happened? I guess because I'm channeling, so like now I just warmed up. But yeah. So with all that said, like I'm getting that kind of energy, just trying to figure it all out, right? Kind of going with the ebbs and flows of life, as things kind of shift and change. You're learning more about yourself. You're learning more about your spirituality. You're learning more about what makes you tick, what you want out of life. And again, being able to kind of know where you are when it comes to both of those things, knowing if you should rely more on again your spirituality versus making a sound solid plan. Take it as it resonates, you know. I don't want to keep going over and over the same card, but like, you know, it's kind of sticking out to me. Um, because it's like it's hard, you know, finding that balance. I can tell you that for sure, because like sometimes I'm like trying to like figure out everything I need to do in a practical way, the 3D way, and then I'm like, wait a minute, my spirit guys, you know, they got my back. Like they led me here for a reason. They're not gonna just abandon me, right? So it's like, you know, but you know, it's just about that using that discernment to know what's what. Um, so we have believe in the impossible, blue moon. Exactly. Like I just said, you know, they're not going to lead you here to leave you abandoned and not help you, right? They're going to make sure that you're okay and that you can handle it. You're not going to be biting off more than you can chew, because they're going to make sure that they, you know, they only give you what you can handle. Hence why this tough cycle is ending. And there's a lot of something coming through, and it says prosperity, so it could be money related, but it could just be prosperity, like, you know, in terms of, you know, you usually associate prosperity with money, obviously, but you know, when I think of like, I just looked up, I saw 1111. So what I was about to say is, you know, I also feel like I think of the word of sirens as I'm also saying it too. Um, I think of the word abundance, and there's different types of abundance, right? There's monetary, and then there's, you know, wealth, abundance, like, or money. Um, then there's like, you know, mind, body, soul, like, you know, not just the 3D. So keep that in mind, right? So let's get maybe two more from here. Excuse me. I will burp a lot, and if that grosses you out, then you might want to just log off now. I understand, but it's how I channel. It's a weird thing. Like I won't do that all day, and then all of a sudden, when I'm reading, all of a sudden, burp, 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 burp. And it's usually when I'm like hitting the nail on the head about something, or a message is trying to come through. It's very weird. Very weird, and I don't like it. But it is what it is. The answer the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. I like it. I like it. So, you know, if you've been having some, you know, concerns or questions or anything about whatever this tough cycle has been, you know, there's going to be some resolutions. I feel there's going to be some endings happening to help you and guide you to be where you're trying to be. So, you know, just pay attention. I'm getting also maybe paying attention to like signs and synchronicities from your spirit guides and stuff like that. If you believe in that kind of thing, I definitely do. Um, you know, they might be kind of, you know, showing you the way throughout the process of all this stuff. So just listen to them, pay attention to what they're telling you. It says, be bold and make the first move. Cardinal Moon. So, you know, being able to, as you're being guided to do whatever this is that is happening in your life, you know, this new beginning, um, after this really tough cycle, maybe there's a little bit of fear associated with making that move. And, you know, I just got for somebody, it might be a literal, like physical move. Take that as it resonates. Like you might literally be getting ready to move somewhere and you're just trying to figure it. There's a lot going on outside. Sorry. Um, yeah, like, you know, you might be a little bit scared, you know, maybe you need to find out some extra courage. I'm even getting some of you might have Leo in your chart. Take that as it resonates as well. But you know, finding that sense of courage within yourself to say, okay, this is something I really have to do, and going after it because it's something that you really want and it's something you are passionate about. Some of you might have fire in your chart. Let's get one more from this deck. And then we'll move on to the Gateway of Light activation deck. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So we got more than one card with Gemini energy. So some of you might have Gemini in your chart as well. So, you know, don't pay too much attention to the signs because the signs are just the signs. But, you know, it could just be the energy in which you're in. But yeah, being able to, you know, Maybe that's why I was burping so much just a second ago. Because I burp a lot of times in my readings anyway, but a lot of times my burps happen when either, like I said, I'm really onto something, or the throat chakra is like a factor in whatever message I'm trying to deliver. So being able to use your voice more. Um, they want you to communicate about something to someone, or I'm getting okay. I have a narrative here for somebody. This will not be for everyone, but take it as it resonates. Let's say if this is about a new job opportunity or something like that. Communication is key. Make sure that you say what is on your mind and you do not allow anybody to lowball you when it comes to the offer. So, like if it's a new job and you're talking, salary, and they're trying to lowball you and give you a bullshit salary, don't accept it, right? Communication is key. Closed mouth don't get fed. Make sure you say what's on your mind when it comes to that. Make sure that it is in alignment with what you want for yourself. Because if it's not, then that's not the opportunity for you. And you do not want to put yourself in a situation that's worse than any situation you were already in before, especially if it has to do with money. Because it's like literally the cards that came out together earlier were the end of a tough cycle approaches, along with prosperity lies ahead. So for a lot of you, this is monetary. So do not lowball yourself. You know your worth, or at least you need to make sure you know your worth, and you speak up for yourself. And you say, yeah, nah. If the money ain't right, then you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta go somewhere else. If like the responsibilities don't match up with what the compensation is, so on and so forth, you gotta do it and say what you gotta say. Bottom of the deck, we have show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Yep, being bold, being very, very, really just standing on business. I'm getting that some of you guys, especially with okay, so we got the Gemini energy, now we got this Aquarius energy in the bottom of the deck. I'm getting some of you might have air in your chart. And when you have air in your chart, you're a thinker, but you also have a way with your words. You're able to be very, usually discerning and also very vocal. So if that is not the case, they're saying that that's something they want you to work on. So take it as it resonates. Um, we have on the top of the deck, nothing will come of this situation. And what I'm getting, void of course moon. What I'm getting from that is basically it's saying like if you're not authentic about who you are and what you want and communicating, then yeah, nothing will come of the situation, because you need to be able to make sure that whatever it is that you want, you're assertive about it. Stand your ground. So even though we're seeing like this air sign, I'm also getting fire signs. Like I said that before, fire signs are very passionate, and they also are very, very strict, and they stand their ground. They do not play games. We saw Aries earlier too. So I mean, hey, we also saw Taurus. So I mean, there's a lot of different signs coming up. So just again, take it as it resonates. It's not gonna all be your message, but for the parts that makes sense, take them, right? All right, so we have you and your loved ones are safe. New moons in Cancer. So for instance, if one of the issues has been the money, right? We talked about this before. Maybe part of the reason why you're afraid to make that first move that we talked about earlier, maybe it's because you're like, okay, well, I have a family to take care of. I can't just rely solely on this and that. Like, you might be like the type of person, like I'll use myself as an example, working two jobs and have a small business, and I'm still struggling. I mean, hey, it's Connecticut, so Connecticut fucking sucks. They tax us for the air we breathe practically out here. Everything's taxed. The taxes are super high. I live in one of the highest taxed um, cities in the whole country, in Bridgeport. We don't have nothing to fucking show for it. But that's just how it goes down. So the point I'm making here is you know being able to say, okay, well, I let that fear go a little bit when it comes to what I'm gonna be doing, because if everything's based off of, oh well, what if well, if you don't do anything at all, then you still aren't gonna have an answer. So it's like being able to, again, be practical. They said that, right? Balancing your spirituality and your practicality. It's okay to surrender control a little bit. Let the universe and God, whatever you believe in, your ancestors, your your spirit team, whatever, guide you along the way. And I mean, they're saying, on the bottom of the deck, before I even do anything, it's just really about that inner fire, lighting up that fire. Again, giving me that sense of like Leo energy. So, or at least, at the very least, fire signs. Um, so it's really about, knowing where you are, knowing who you are, and being vocal enough to be able to say, I'm going to stand my ground here as I welcome in these new things in my life. Because whatever this is that you've been wanting to work on, there is prosperity lying ahead. But don't allow your emotions or too many inner thoughts get the best of you, is what I'm really getting here. And again, being assertive and being able to stand your ground, because you know what you want and you deserve to be valued. So if people are making you feel a certain way when it comes to that, especially if it's like a new job or a business venture, anything along those lines, a promotion at work, so on and so forth, you got to be able to stand on business and say, okay, well, I know my worth and I know what I want. I know what I deserve. If you don't do that, that's when you're going to be, stagnating yourself and causing doors to close in your face. So make sure you're, open to the right opportunities, right? All right, what we got? And I knew this card was going to come up. Thank you, Spirit. Sword of Light, divine protection. We saw something about protection earlier. Divine protection, quartz cup, breakthrough energy. This is basically like the Ace of Swords energy here. On the bottom of the deck. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're protected. And you're also cutting those old cords of things that are closing out and phasing out. So let's look deeper. Spirit, what else do you have to tell the collective energy at this time when it comes to this? Okay, we got, should I take them? Yeah, I'll take them. All right, so we have Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. So this is about choices, for sure. And we kind of got that energy even earlier. This is about, you're coming into alignment with who you're meant to be. You're coming into alignment with the path that you're meant to take. Now, they're telling you there really is no wrong path. But just keep in mind that, you can delay your outcomes, or, when you choose the better outcome, or the better choice, I should say, you'll reach those outcomes a little bit faster. So it's just about using your discernment and knowing where you're going. It's all written. It's written. It's funny because, like, ironically enough, I just thought about today. I got drawn, like, while I was going home. Um, excuse me. I got drawn to listen to "The Writings on the Wall" by Destiny's Child. That album. So it's a very old album. It's like, what, 25 years old now? Yeah. That's crazy. That's so crazy. It's letting me, like, really realize how old I am. But anyway, so I wanted to listen to that album. I always thought the album title was pretty cool. The Writings on the Wall. It's basically saying, like, this is set, is written in stone. You know what I mean? Like, your outcome is always going to be written in stone. Like, what you're meant to do is what you're meant to do. It's just about how you get there. Again, it's almost like, if you think about it, like, if you have a destination, right? You use your GPS. You know how they'll give you more than one option, and you're like, so one option, if I go that way, there's like detours and there's traffic on that highway, but if I go this way, blah, 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 I can also take the roads, like, which way am I going to go? So it's really just about choices, you know? And again, the better choices that you make, the outcome is going to probably be the same down the line, but you could reach your destination sooner and faster when you make the best decisions for yourself. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so we also have, these came out together, by the way, Merkaba activation. Transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Yeah, like, whatever choice you make is going to be a part of your ascension. And as you level up, you're also going to work on your healing. So we have star being healing codes. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. So this is an important time right now to work on as you ascend, right? We're also working on your overall healing. From the things that you've been through, the disappointments in the past that you're, still kind of facing, and things like that. So again, take it as it resonates. But you are essentially doing the right thing. You are on the right path. So all those self-doubts and stuff that you've had, they're letting you know, let that stuff go. Like, you don't have to stay in that energy. We also have Shambhala initiations, retreat. There we go. We got two cards literally back to back about retreating and recharging. Retreating to recharge, trusting the process, and dharma. So you're receiving your good karma after this period of difficulties and hardships and things like that. So those all came out together. I like that energy for y'all. So we're gonna, because there were so many cards that came out together like that. There's 4 cards. Let's just see maybe 2 more from here, and then we're gonna start looking into the tarot. Plus, no one's here, so I'm not gonna, be on here too long if that's the case. I was hoping that somebody would be here, but it's fine. It happens. All right, we have Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation. Remember, I said something about the throat chakra. Voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. I also just heard asking you shall receive. When you use your voice to say what it is that you need from your higher power, whatever you believe in, your ancestors, the universe, whatever, the more that you actually ask for help, the more assistance you're going to get. But a closed mouth don't get fed. You gotta say, you gotta, as heard John Mayer, say what you need to say what you need to say. Like, you have to say what's on your mind, how you feel, because if you keep those things bottled up and you don't say anything, that's when you end up in situations in which you are biting off more than you can chew. People take advantage, so on and so forth. So that's the energy I feel you're trying to get out of. So we're not backtracking here, right? We're trying to move forward. I'm getting here. Let's get one more from this deck. Thank you. All right, so we have Inner Earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. So this is a time, and this comes up a lot, getting grounded. Getting grounded is very important right now. Working on that base chakra is very, very important. Doing that inner work is very important. The more inner work you're doing, the more grounded you're going to feel and more secure you're going to feel. So you'll feel like you're on a more stable and secure foundation in that regard. And that starts with the inner work. So for those of you who believe in chakra balancing and all that, yeah, that's what needs to be done. I'm also getting that, of course, because this comes up every time, spending out some time outside, outdoors, very important. Maybe hiking, ironically enough, one of my friends on Facebook, they were saying, hey, I'm trying to put together a group of people who want to go hiking. Hit me up if you're interested. And I almost was about to say, yeah, I think I want to do that, but my schedule is so crazy. So, but maybe this is my confirmation that I should do that. Yeah. And like, even looking at the picture, you can see that they're like, it almost looks like they're in some woods or something. But the other thing I'm kind of seeing is, interestingly enough, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I'm looking at like a birth canal too. I know this sounds crazy, I know, but hear me out. And I know this also doesn't have anything to technically do with the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra would more so be this energy that I'm picking up on. But hear me out. Like, doesn't that look like you see the light at the end of the tunnel? It's like, oh, I'm getting pushed through the birth canal. It's like you're giving a new, like, birth to a new version of yourself almost. I know that's a very weird way to, pick that up, but that's what I just got. I just go with what they tell me. I'm just saying. So even though the sacral chakra didn't show up, they're letting me know, hey, because they're right next to each other. Maybe they're even saying that the sacral chakra also needs some work. They're right next to each other, so it's usually pretty common. If one chakra is off, the one below it or above it could be off too. So the next one would be the sacral. So maybe that's what they're saying. Creativity too could be a thing. You're again giving birth to something, giving birth to a new version of yourself, or giving birth to a creation. Take it as a resonance. These readings get wonky sometimes. I'm just saying, spirit guides, they be saying some shit. All right, we have Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. So for those of you who believe in the Lemurians, they were like one of the first civilizations to ever exist, and they were way ahead of their time, and you know, they were really, really like big on like technology and stuff like that. And then they were just somehow wiped out and they don't exist anymore. But some people feel that there are portals and stuff to still access where they are. You know, that's like, you have to do your research on that. It's a lot that goes to it. But regardless of anything, they're just saying that you are like ahead of your time. Like you don't even realize how unique and special you are sometimes. And they're letting you know like it's okay to like embrace who you truly are. Yeah, you know, you might feel unique and odd, and sometimes it feels weird because like you might have these ideas and stuff and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you might be like, they would call out there to some people, but the thing is because your your path, you're meant to be that person that stands out. You're meant to be that unique and different person. So just, you know, go with it, right? Easier said than done, trust me, because I was always the weird kid. My whole childhood, I was the weird kid, and now look what I'm doing. I'm talking to spirit guides and reading cards. Never thought I would be doing this, but hey, I mean, now I'm embracing it finally. And I'm still, you know, working on it. That's that living with grace part, you know, because there are gonna be people who are gonna talk shit and, you know, have negative things to say. Fuck 'em. Their opinion is irrelevant. Um, so just focus on where you are and who you are right now at this time, I feel. Um, as I say, wow, you can't make this shit up. Oh my goodness. I didn't even see what was on the bottom of the deck, guys. As I'm saying, talking about like being authentic and all that. Temple of Truth, throat chakra. We talked about this before. Speaking your truth, authenticity and self-expression. Wow, you can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. So, look, they're saying, look, you are unique. You have these ideas and stuff that you're afraid to put out there, but they're saying, hey, look, whatever this is gonna be different for everybody. They're like, look, this is a time for you to really use your voice and say, hey, and that look, communication is key, right? They're like, this is a time to put yourself out there, really speak up and say, look, whatever this is, because it sounds like whatever this could be like you know, for some, it could be like $1 million idea, you know what I mean? Like this. And then as I'm saying that, look what we got at the top of the deck. The central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. So there you go. This is on the top of the deck as I'm talking about this. Come on now. Spirit ain't playing with y'all. Um, they're letting you know, like, you have this idea, whatever this is, this passionate new beginning that you want to work on, that you have a little bit of self-doubts about and all that. But they're letting you know, hello, as my nana would say, just in that tone, hello, she might be in here right now. Um, you have this idea here, or ideas, that they're like, yeah, do it. They've been nudging you and everything, and you just don't listen. Raise his hand. You know, you've been sitting on ideas too long. They're like letting you know, look, you know, whether it's your self doubts or whatever, the opinions of others, whatever the case may be, they're like, look, there's something here, and you need to start utilizing that and going for it. The divine matrix is in the middle of the deck. Interconnectedness, synchronicity, and God incidences. Remember earlier I was talking about 3333 across the timer when I just said this. Like I did say how, you know, you might be getting like these downloads and, you know, things happening, signs and synchronicities, so on and so forth. And they're letting you know, like, these are not just mere, you know, coincidences. These are God instances. And sorry, I always get that. I get tongue twister when I say this one. God incidences. That's a made up word, clearly. But they're letting you know, like, these coincidences are not actually coincidences at all. They are sent from the divine, and they're letting you know this is a part of your plan, your master plan that they've laid out for you already. And again, you have self-doubt, so it's like they're just saying, yeah, let the self-doubt go, you know what I mean? That's probably one of the old phases that you phased out during, you know, previous like moon cycles, right? Full moon cycles. And I just saw Knight of Cups, which is about creative expression. You know, it could also be about, you know, romantic gestures, but, you know, here I actually think that's what it actually represents. So just saying, there is something here. I just saw the strength card in the reverse, so it's like, It's that inner confidence, right? And that courage to go after what it is that you want. So if there's been that self-doubt, they're letting you know this is a time. Look, as I stopped shuffling, I just decided to stop for a second. I didn't know what was on the bottom of the deck. Just happened to look. Nine of Pentacles. So they're like, look, you have this idea that's going to bring you prosperity and abundance. Stop sleeping on these ideas. At this point, I feel like I'm just talking to myself because no one's here. But yeah, it's like, shit. I saw the world too, you know, successful completion. All right, so we're gonna do a cross of truth. Yeah, see, we got the high priestess in the reverse. It's like, look, you guys, you're not allowing yourself to actually like hone in on your higher self, your innermost higher self. Like, you have probably very high intuition and all of this, but like you're not doing anything with it, right? This inner knowledge, like even it, like looking at this whatchamacallit, the mantra that's on here, it says, my inner knowledge is my best guide in all. You're not following it, you're not listening. So it's like, that's why they're nudging you constantly, but it's like sirens. Every time I'm about to say some deep shit, if you guys been watching my channel for a while, always a siren. If it's not a siren, then it's a fucking horn outside. It's always something, I promise you. So that's how you know I'm onto something. That and my burps, which I can't stand, but it is what it is. So we're gonna do a cross of truth. All right, Spirit, what else does the collective need to know at this time? What's the overall energy going on here? I mean, we saw pretty much the overall energy, but tell us more about that. What else do they need to know from this deck? Thank you. Ah, yes. The Eight of Wands. Action. Going towards what it is that you want. Fast action, creativity, fast communication, fast action. They're like, look, remember I said for some of you might physically be moving. I said that too. So take all of that as it resonates. But they're basically saying, you know, this is about something happening fast. Finding that sense of energy and enthusiasm. This is happening. 3737, as I said that. What is that? 1010. What's 1010? You break it down, ends up being two choices. Everything's coming down to choices. You have to take a choice here, or make a choice here to you know, say, okay, enough's enough, and I really want to go towards what it is that I want. There's these things that you want, whatever this is. It's gonna be different for everybody, but they're basically saying, please do it. So the thing that might be working against you at this time is, I'm getting a lack of direction. Queen of Swords here on the like it just came out. You know, usually the Queen of Swords, she's very discerning. She knows what she wants. She does not play games. But I feel like a lot of you guys have been having a hard time with that part of the situation. It's about the, like, okay, so the Queen of Swords could represent a lot of things, obviously, right? But in this particular reading, I feel like it's more about the fact that you guys have been having a sense of lacking direction. Because it could represent gossip and all kind of other stuff too. But I don't think that's the issue here. It's more in lies and stuff like that. Um, but because like usually the swords are about truth of some sort too, right? So it could represent like dishonesty and things like that. I don't think it's that. I think it's more so like a lack of direction, because the swords are also about the thoughts, right? Remember I said they're about your words, but they're also about your thoughts. Maybe sometimes your thoughts and your words don't match up. You say to yourself, oh, I want to do this and that, but your actions don't line up, or your words even about yourself might not match up, right? I can vouch for that. I know what that feels like. You know, when you know that there's these certain things that you want, but then like you have a hard time being able to have, you know, that sense of positive affirmations and things like that. So speaking kindly to yourself could be a thing that might actually help. Again, take it all as it resonates. It's going to be different for everybody. But yeah, see, confidence, you know, lacking confidence. The strength card is in the, I said self-doubt several times, and lack of confidence. I said that multiple times. That's what the strength card represents. So I think you guys get in your head a lot, and I'm getting negative self-talk. So the negative self-talk is actually the thing that's been like the thing holding you back. I think I really do. Yeah, because look, it's causing you setbacks when it comes to the money. Come on now. Ten of Pentacles. So, in the reverse. So, it's causing financial losses and shit because you're not allowing yourself to, actually have that sense of positive, affirmation and confidence, all that within yourself, right? So they're letting you know, like the the worst of the worst is pretty much done. We do have the Ten of Swords here. Like the worst of the worst is here. All the disappointments, all the pain. It's already done. I'm also getting that some of this is you guys kind of in a way betrayed yourselves. With the not so nice, self talk. Um, this is something that you guys are. This is like that inner work that might need to be focused on. Where does that come from? Where does it stem from? Maybe a little bit of shadow work too. Take that as it resonates. But I am getting that might be a thing that you could work on. A suggestion I have for you is being able to write down positive affirmations for yourself. If you're lacking self-confidence, looking in the mirror and saying nice things to yourself, so on and so forth. So that you could work on that inner confidence. Any rebuttal, any negative thing that you have to say about yourself, think of a rebuttal. Think of something positive to say to yourself to counteract that and balance it out. Um, Phone goes off as I say that. So pay attention to that, right? All right, tell us more. I'm hoping that made sense. Like, okay, prime example. Just to piggyback on what I just said. My self-confidence when it comes to what I'm doing right now, when it comes to this tarot, like, channel and all that, I don't feel good about it. Like, I know I'm a good reader, but I don't feel good about my outcomes when I do this. Like, right now, for instance, I thought with the type of reading I was going to be doing, I'm like, by now, people should have been showing up. Nobody's here. I think like maybe 3 people showed up for like 2 seconds and then left out. So I don't know if it's my appearance. I don't know. The lighting, I really don't know. Maybe they don't like the message. I don't know. But I do know, however, that there are going to be certain loyal subscribers who will watch this at another time, even if they're not here right now, who probably will resonate with this message and be like, hey girl, I'm sorry I missed your reading, but I'm here watching it now, catching the replay, and I got you. Like this reading is good, and I resonate with this. Like as long as I know that my message reaches at least one person each time, it is what it is, and I'm learning that. So like if I were to allow my intrusive thoughts get the best of me, I would just say fuck doing this shit. I'm about to quit. Because I always feel that way. But I tell myself, like I just said, even if this message reaches one person, just one, at least I know that I did my part. And I was guided to deliver this message, and the right person ended up watching. Just like just now, somebody came in, they left out within like 5 seconds. See what I'm saying? Like my self-esteem, the way that it's built and set up, sometimes that it's like a dagger and it fucking hurts. But at the same time, I'm learning that there are people who end up watching my videos and they're like, wow, you're a great reader, I want a private reading. They get the private reading, they're like, you're fucking great, now let me leave a review on your Facebook, you know what I mean? Like, and they recommend me and stuff. So I'm learning, right? This isn't for everybody as far as this whole like being a content creator. This shit is hard. Okay, the people who could like, especially if you're a reader, like the people who could just like pick up cards and just read at any given time, I can't do that. I have to feel drawn to my decks to do it. So scheduling readings and stuff, not my thing. It's just not. It's not my thing. 4444 across the board when I just said that. So it's like I, I'm the reader where, like, I wish I could just come up with a schedule, but I can't do that. This is not me, you know. For those who can just pick up a deck and just read like that, that's pretty cool. I when I'm doing this type of reading, I just can't. But maybe I need to try harder. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sorry. I just felt like kind of giving that quick little tidbit because, as a reader, sometimes people, or like a life coach and things like that, because I am a life coach as well. Like, people think like, oh, she must just have it all together. I mean, hey, I've made well with what I've got in my life, but at the same time, I've been through a lot, and I still am working on things. I'm still healing. I'm a work in progress like everybody else. I just happen to take the experiences that I've had and the things I've learned from and utilize them in a way where I can help others. That's what we call transmutation. And that's what I do. So I transmute the things I've been through and the negative shit, blah, 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 and I do something with it. So now the thing is, the way we transmute our energy is all different for everybody, right? Some people get creative, some people, are, speakers, or they write, or, either way, you're creating something, really. But yeah, you take that energy and you do something with it. Some people work out, like whatever it is, everybody does something different. But, whatever it is, make sure it's something that, is suitable for you and it works for you. Um, but this is how I transmute. So the thing that's coming in towards you and working for you. So I'm going to read this in the opposite because that wouldn't make any sense if this is what's working for you. You guys are getting a sense of self-control over your life. You're taking charge with authority here. And interestingly enough, we did see earlier Aries energy. So we got Aries energy here again. And that was in the very beginning of the reading when we saw that. One of the cards in the beginning. That card is long lost because it's under too many other cards. But yeah, so I do feel like you're learning how to take control of your life, and you're learning how to again take action. I mean, literally the card that came out initially was about action. So like that's what you're doing. That's what you're working on. So you're just kind of figuring it all out and going from there. Yeah, balancing the scales. You've learned the lessons that needed to be learned, and now you're receiving karmic justice because of it. That I mean the wheel of fortune is not here, but I'm getting wheel of fortune vibes as well. Like that karmic wheel is turning in a new direction because you've already done the work. You've done what you had to do. You're taking charge now, or in the process of doing so. You know, and this is after a period of, I'm getting, I said this earlier, but like lying to yourself, right? You lied to yourself for too long. Other people might have lied to you as well, but I'm getting you lied to yourself. Remember, we saw that Queen of Swords here, and then in the reverse, and the cards that were like surrounding it, that was giving me more like this is all on you. Like I'm not saying like you're blaming yourself thing. What I'm saying is that sounded a little harsh the way I said it, but what I was saying, or what I'm trying to say, is you're learning how to be more honest with yourself and honest with other people too, right? People who might have gotten one over on you and stuff like that. You're learning how to be more honest so they don't allow or accept people into your energy who are not honest, who are not of the light. I'm getting something along those lines. I mean, we saw energy earlier of this, you guys, you're protected, right? Cords have been cut and severed. Like, you guys are taking control. You're like, yeah, I'm good on, allowing these jerk faces to get in my face and fuck up my life. Why am I going to allow that? You've let go. Thank you, Spirit, for confirmation. You've let go of things and people from the past that might have been holding you back, with the Six of Cups in the reverse here. And these are, in some cases, these are people you've known for a long ass fucking time, like your childhood, even your own parents. That's crazy, right? But I've heard of so many situations where parents are jealous of their own kids and fuck shit up for their own kids. Like, that shit's wild as fuck to me. I don't understand how anybody could do something like that. Like, I want to see my son win, and he's doing great. You know what I mean? I always say the talent went from my dad to, and it skipped me and it went to my son. I always say that because my son is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to a guitar or any other instrument. So, and songwriting too. So, I'm just saying. But, that's a whole different conversation. But what I'm saying is, for some of you, it could have to do with a parent type situation too. It's like that shit's wild as fuck to me, bruh. I don't get that. You should want your offspring to do better than you. Like it should always be increasing, and getting better. Why the fuck would you want them to stay where you at or below you? Stupid. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's besides the point, and that's a whole different conversation. I am thinking about doing a messages from your inner child reading soon. So stay tuned. Maybe that's like a little segue into that. But anyway, thought I heard a siren, but no, that wasn't a siren. That was a screeching tires. Um, Tell us more. Be the basis of this. Keep hearing something out there. It's not a siren, but I do hear something out there. It doesn't. I thought it was a screeching tire, but no, it's something else. I hear something going on out there. I burp, and then the phone goes off all at the same time. 5115 on the timer. When I said that, yeah, there's something. They're letting you know something. Okay, so the basis of all this is the fact that there might have been some like hopes and dreams that were shattered, right? Nine of Cups is here in the reverse. So, this all kind of goes back to, kind of what we saw earlier, that, those hard times that you've fallen upon. Um, there might have just been a lot of disappointments. I'm getting tower moment, even though the tower's not here, but I'm getting tower moment for some, where things were really, really hard and really painful, very disappointing, and you're getting out of that. But the fear is there because you're like, oof, well, what if I repeat an old pattern or cycle? It's like trauma related, and it's like, yeah, fear of change. Thank you, Spirit. More confirmations. Fear of change. Remember earlier I was talking about the number 2 and making decisions. So literally, I'm going to actually read the card. I know what the 2 of Wands that means, but I'm going to just tell y'all what it says here on the card. Fear of change, indecisiveness, restricted options, failed negotiations, lack of activity. Exactly. It's almost like, and I could vouch for this here. When you have, when you choose to not do anything, keyword, you choose not to do anything, any action towards anything because of fear, you know, it's like I'm gonna say we because I feel like I fall in this category. We psych ourselves out and we tell ourselves, oh, well, you know, I just, if I don't do anything at all, then then I can't fail. Psych yourself out and you tell yourself that. Well, you're also still kind of failing if you're not even allowing yourself to give yourself a chance, you know. But it's the psyche, right? This maladaptive thoughts of, oh, well, if I don't do it at all, then that means I didn't fail if things don't go the way I want them to, right? And that's where that fear is coming from. So basically you're saying, oh yeah, this happens to do with, there's like a trauma response to, missed opportunities or feeling like you failed or feeling a lot of disappointments and pain and all that. And now you're like, oh, I just won't make a choice at all. I'll just, stay where I'm at and remain stagnant, right? See, I'm telling you right now, 53, as I'm saying this, people keep coming in and going out. And it's so funny because I'm just like, sometimes I get worked up about it and I get upset. I'll be like, I'm just not going to read that anymore. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep going because at some point somebody's going to, even if it doesn't happen while I'm on live right now, somebody's going to watch this and they're going to resonate. And like I said, even if it's just for one person, that's all that matters. I'm not going to keep on, you know, having this attachment to results anymore. And it's really hard as a content creator because that's the whole point, right? Results, numbers, it's important, but at this point, it's not about that anymore. I just want to grow authentically And, you know, if I come across the right subscribers, or they come across my page, I should say, hey, at least I know that there's those people who do resonate and do end up vibing with the channel. You know, people also have lives. This is Monday evening. Like, I know that people might be just doing stuff like cooking and stuff like that. So I keep all that in mind as well. But yeah, so, you know, I think a lot of things have been just repetitive in life, and you're just like, yeah, fuck this shit. This shit's lame. Like, I'm just not satisfied. That's what I'm getting here. So, but they're like, look, listen, if you want to level up, you have to start making choices. We got the King of Pentacles here. So it's like, you know, it's time to start making choices that are going to lead to your prosperity. Everything's kind of coming full circle right now. So let's get, yeah, thank you. So they're like, it's time to start seizing opportunities and stop playing games, right? You know, of course, be calculated with these ideas, but the thing is, these decisions are going to start 555 across the board. As I'm saying, that's all about change across the board, right? Changing your mindset. We got the Ace of Cups here, outpouring of happiness, new beginnings, and we talked about new beginnings earlier. It was like more like Ace of Wands energy, but it's also letting me know that this is not only going to be something that is going to be a passionate thing for you, but it's also going to be emotionally fulfilling as well, whatever this is. Yeah, after letting go of the pain and the disappointments here on the bottom of the deck, that Three of Swords. Yeah, look at that. Passion. Passion. Knight of Wands. Okay. So we got two knights here now. And, you know, one is about logic and the other one is about, you know, passion. So, you know, following where you're being guided, you know, but also making sure that, you know, you make wise decisions, right? Don't be hasty. Because the thing about both of the knights, actually all the knights to an extent, with the exception of the Knight of Pentacles, all of them tend to be a little bit hasty with their decision making, but they just do it in different ways. So it's like, you know, just be mindful, right? But by being able to seize opportunities, it allows for new beginnings to come in. And these are beginnings that are going to actually make you a lot happier right now in your life than you currently are. Especially because there is the passion that's also attached to it. Especially if it's something that has to do with like a new project that you've been really wanting to work on, or a new job or something like that. Like I said, every time I start talking and I look up and there's somebody here, they leave. I'm learning to not deal with that anymore, or allow it to affect me too much, because I used to get really sad about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna just sign up. I'm like, no, somebody's gonna watch it and they're gonna resonate. 57 as I looked up. But yes, happiness, man, with this 10 of cups here. So no matter what, like, yeah, it feels like sometimes it's like, damn, like I feel like it's not going where I want it to go. Blah 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 blah. Like, I get it. Trust me when I tell you, I understand. But at the same time, you know, they're letting you know in this reading right now that, you know, everything you've been doing, you're doing the right things. It's just really a matter of staying on top of it. It's about being discerning. It's about, excuse me, it's about um allowing things to happen, right? And yeah, look at that. Allowing and inviting help. That's when I split the deck, guys. So it's like, we talked about that, this sense of surrendering control a little bit, because I think a lot of you guys feel like you have to do everything on your own and, you know, plan everything out. And they're saying, look. This is a time to be able to welcome in spirit to help you during this time, because there's so many things that you're trying to do. And they're saying, look, you can't do it all by yourself. And you're not meant to. That's what we're here for. That's when we come in to help you out. So just allow them to do it, right? Welcome them in to be able to help you during this time. Because if you keep on the path of, well, I could just do everything by myself. Okay. Good luck with that. We all need something or someone. You know, that's where having faith in a higher power of whatever you believe in, whatever that is for you, um, that's where that comes in handy, because guess what? They're going to be the ones that are going to help get you through the rest of the stuff that you're dealing with. You can't do it all on your own, honey. You can't. Accept help when you need to. Allowing is here again on the bottom of the deck. Come on now. Spirit ain't playing. They're letting you know. Like, yeah, we want to help you. Alright, so let's get 3 cards from here, and that'll be the end of the reading, because unfortunately nobody really showed up. And like I said, I'm not going to allow myself to get all worked up about that or sad about it. I used to get really sad about that, but it's fine. Look what we got. Guidance. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed start to follow. Exactly. Allow them to guide you. They're not going to steer you in the wrong direction. They're not going to lead you astray. You know, they're not going to, put more onto you than what you can actually handle. Like, they're always guiding you in the direction you're meant to go in at that time. Even if that direction feels like it's like self-destruction. Sometimes, like, you're meant to learn some karmic lessons and things like that. Or they'll, test you, right? To see, hey, did you learn the lesson? Did you? you know, and to see what you do with, the knowledge that you've gained. Do you go and make the same repetitive mistakes again? Because each lesson is going to get harder and harder if you keep repeating the same lesson until you finally get it. Been there, done that. And that shit is no fun, trust me. So pay attention. Acceptance. Radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. Yes. So being able to be open and accepting allows for things to kind of happen naturally, exactly the way that they're meant to. I'm gonna get 2 more from here, actually. I might read from one more deck too. I was gonna only read from here, and then I changed my mind. I happened to look, and I'm like, oh wait. All right. Expansiveness. I like it. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So move beyond the ego, right? Your inner thoughts and things like that. Because, and that's what I was talking about earlier, sometimes, we let our inner thoughts get the best of us. That's our ego. So it's like, when you start to move past that, that's how you start to create, more of what it is that you want. And what you're meant to have too. You allow yourself to grow and expand in that way. So don't overthink things. That's why they always say, balancing the head over heart decisions is very important, right? Finding that happy medium ground between the two. Because if you're always, in your head, oof, you're gonna lose out on a lot of opportunities. But if you listen to your heart too much, letting your emotions get the best of you, that's a thing. So find that happy balance between the two, in order to allow yourself to grow and expand more. Let's get one more thing here. Thank you. Letting go. Wow. Coming back full circle, guys. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. Yes, trust in the divine. Whatever you believe in. It doesn't have to be, God, but whatever you believe in. I'm not going to put that onto nobody. I don't believe in that. But allow yourself to, whatever that means for you, surrender, and allow your higher power, whatever you believe in, to do the rest of the work for you. We have grief. So that was talking about like those difficult, trials and tribulation cycles that were happening earlier that you're still kind of working on and healing from. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. So remember I said earlier that heart chakra might need a little bit of work. I made a very, very brief comment about that, very brief, but I did mention it, that I do feel like the heart is a little bit in there too. Um, Getting a lot of throat chakra that showed up too, but the heart definitely has showed up at some point. So yeah, not being too closed off, right? Allowing to welcome love in and things like that. Non-duality. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Exactly. Being truly authentic to yourself in this human form, in this 3D world. But look, literally, this is the same fucking card, but two different decks. There we go. Same fucking energy. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So that's finding your balance between your spiritual self and your 3D self. And this one. Holy shit. Wow. I'm going to read that card again. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. I'm just saying. Spirit don't be playing with y'all. They have your back. And they want you to know, hey, you don't have to worry about this. Like, everything that, is going on in your life, it's happening the way it's meant to happen. You have change here on the top of the deck. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, remember I talked about surrendering and not worrying, and I talked about control too, because I said something about fives. Wow, look at that. You come to a sacred crossroads. We saw energy of crossroads earlier in your own evolution. Wow. To see the change, you have to be the change. Wow, look at all this stuff coming back to like full circle. This is crazy. And it says right now, as I split the deck, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled in each moment. Didn't I just say that they're not going to give you more than what you can handle? Everything is coming back full circle. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. I act like I'm so shocked by this, but no, I actually am. Because it's like when it's this dead on, I'm like, damn, even I'm shocked at this. Fuck. Wow. Because I literally said this more than once in the reading that, like, the universe or whatever you believe in is not going to give you more than what you can handle. Like, it's just really about, learning lessons that need to be applied and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But, like, the reality of the situation is, like, as long as you do what you got to do, clear your energy and go with the flow of life, you got this, right? Knowing where you got to go. All right, so for the real this time, this is the last cards I'm pulling because wow, this is crazy. Wow, this was a good one, man. I'm sad that nobody was here. The energy would have been even more lit if there were people that showed up, but it's all right. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what time to go on during the week because like I feel like on the weekends I kind of figured out a good like sweet spot for the time to go on, and then on here for the weekdays it's a hit or a miss. I try to go on between 6 and 7, but clearly like I don't have my Fitbit on, but it's probably like it's probably pushing 8 o'clock. No, not quite. It's probably a little bit after 7:30 at this point. But yeah, so we got wishful thinking on the bottom of the deck here. It says you are learning how to manifest the life you desire. Exactly. And interestingly enough, one of the hashtags I used in my title was manifest. So yeah, we have source here that came out. The connection to source is the light, your connection to source is the light and love that shines through you and leads the way. Exactly. I literally just said something along those lines. Maybe not as poetic as that, but I said, your spirit guides, all of them, your spiritual team, whatever you believe in, the universe, God, they're all leading the way. They're lighting the path. You just have to follow it. All the answers are already within. And that's why I was talking about the high priestess in reverse earlier. How, maybe you're feeling a little bit shut off from source a little bit and, where you're being guided. That means that you got to work on, getting in alignment. So even though I mentioned the base chakra, I also mentioned the sacral chakra. We did see energy of the solar plexus. The heart chakra kind of showed up. Um, actually, all of them kind of showed up. The only ones that didn't like truly show up in the reading was the third eye and the crown. But I'm getting that energy too, like this energy of, maybe, you know those chakras might be. I feel like in general, a lot of you guys just need to get in more alignment in general, just straight up. I'm probably one of them, but all if what the thing is this, if any of your chakras are off, chances are all of them are going to be off. There might be some that need a little bit more work than others, but yeah. So we got two cards that came out. Fear. um your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life that you deserve. So we talked about that earlier, so now we got some confirmation, and came out along with soul group. You are getting ready to unite with the members of your soul family. So pay attention to the people that you come across, because there's people that you're about to start meeting. And Source is going to let you know if these people are legit or not, who are going to be able to help you on your path, help you, help light the way of where you're meant to go, you know. If they have any like insight or anything like that of things that you're trying to learn more about, listen to them. My right ear just started to ring, like really, really loud. Yeah, so pay attention to that, right? For some of you might have past life connections with some of these people, and or there's some things from past life connections that you need to work on and heal from. So let's just read the card. We have past life connections. You are currently healing past life wounds. So some stuff stems far back, and that could be why you're constantly repeating cycles. And I did just see 11 or 11111 all across the board a second ago. So that could be why, you know what I mean? You're dealing with a karmic lesson. We did see the justice card. So it's like, the scales are balancing. You're in the process of making that happen. So you have old soul here. You have lived many lifetimes and gained wisdom beyond your years. So you've learned a lot of lessons. Now it's the time to apply the lessons. That's the hard part, right? It's kind of like when you're in college or school or whatever, and you take a test or whatever, you learn all this information, you do well on the test, but then like actually applying it like practically, you're like, especially if you went to college for anything, right? Or you took a trade or anything like that, where you start to actually apply it to real life, you're like, oh shit, this is hard. You know what I mean? Um, like a diagnosing a person with a disorder or something like that. Like on paper, okay, this makes sense. But when you're in front of a client or a potential client, and you're like, oh wait, this is harder than I thought, and they're also kind of batshit crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard the stories of people who've actually diagnosed people, after, they went to school and stuff, and now they're like, they got their masters or whatever, and they're like, oh shit, this is totally different than textbook stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So this is what the universe is doing to you in real life, right? Like here in the 3D, and it's like, you go through all these lessons, and now it's like, okay, did you learn your lesson? Oh, great. Now we're going to put it into fruition and see what you do with that information. Are you going to actually apply it, or are you going to keep doing the same shit over and over? So, you're learning. You're learning. So we have Seeker of Truth on the bottom of the deck. You can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances. And we talked about seeking the truth or embracing the truth a little while ago. Yeah. And we also have metamorphosis. The number is 2 on here. I'm just saying, we talked about 2s earlier. Like the caterpillar that emerges from its cocoon, you are about to get your wings. So you're going through a major transformation, major metamorphosis right now. Yeah. All those lessons and everything, and the choices that had to be made, all leading you here. Mirror adds up to 11 with this 56 here. So we talked about that karmic, lesson, all that stuff before. Everything that is happening in your external life is a reflection of your inner world. Yes. So it's time to take a look in that mirror. I actually said earlier, this might be a good time to look in the mirror and talk to yourself and say things positive to yourself, doing that inner work. So I'm just saying, everything kind of came back full circle. So we're going to end the reading here, but For those of you who end up watching, because nobody really was here, unfortunately, I'm kind of sad about that. But like I said, it's okay. I know everybody has their own lives and things like that. So, you know, maybe next time. But yeah, for those of you who end up watching at another time, you guys are awesome, and I'm thankful for you. And even if nobody watches this, maybe it was a reading for just me, myself, and I, but live. Which is kind of funny because you never know. Spirit's funny like that. So I know there's some things that they've been nudging me about, and maybe I just needed to see this for myself. I don't know, but either way, I do hope that somebody, at least one person other than myself, gets a message from this and it resonates. If you haven't done so already, definitely hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. Leave comments in the comment section. Hit that like button. All those good things just lets me know that I connected with you and that you're connect. Not you're connect. Only are you connecting, but also that you're supporting the channel. It helps me along the way. So, with all that said, I'm about to eat dinner because I'm starving. Mom made some meatloaf, and I'm really excited about this. And I'm gonna just wind down and chill. So, until next time, which probably will be Thursday. I love you guys, and yeah, take care of yourselves. And yeah, bye.